I'm Daniel. I am unemployed yet fairly healthy. No diseases or mental illness. Anyways, I was searching for a job. I went to a small town in Wisconsin to try find something. It was pretty far away from home, but it was a job that could be worked from home, so I didn't have any issues with it. I was driving down a long stretch of desolate, empty road with only trees to the sides. That's when I saw a broken down car with a man standing next to it, holding what looked to be a wrench. I pulled over to see what was wrong. When I got out of my car, I got closer. I saw he had an odd appearance. The man looked really uncanny. His smile looked slightly too big to be human. His eyes, not a color I'd ever seen before, lime green. I began to try speak to this man to see what his problem was. "Hello, what happened to your car? Do you need me to call someone or?" I said to the man. The man didn't respond. He just stood there. Then I noticed he hadn't blinked at all. Frightened by this, I decided to just leave, but I didn't want to seem rude even to this strange guy with lime eyes. "Hey, I'm just gonna go get some help, alright," I said, lying to the strange lime-eyed man. The man didn't respond. I then went back into my car and floored it down the road until I saw houses. I slowed down, hoping whatever I saw was just some strange mannequin someone had put near a car wreck to scare passers-bys. I managed to convince myself this was the truth, and I headed down to the building. I got out of my car and saw a man in a suit and briefcase standing outside the building. I went closer to him and my heart stopped. He had those same cursed green eyes. My heart began to race as I slowly approached him, hoping he'd at least be normal. When I got closer, I saw he had that same giant grin and those unblinking lime eyes. "Hey, is this the right building?" I asked the man. I knew it was. I just couldn't think of anything else to ask him to see if he was normal or not. The man turned his head to me. He looked sort of gleeful. The man nodded his head slowly. His eyes stayed still and unblinking. His jaw stayed unhinged into a smile. I casually thanked the man and went inside. When I got inside, I let out a deep sigh. What the hell is going on here? I decided it's probably still just a prank. Maybe they're doing this as a late Halloween prank, wearing hyper, realistic uncanny lime-eyed masks to scare new hires. Yeah, no. I still decided I'd go up and meet the interviewer. When I got up a few flights of stairs, I saw a sign above the door. "Mr. Piper's office," it read. I smiled, as this was the guy who'd responded to my emails asking for an interview. I opened the door excited, but that excitement quickly vanished when I saw his face. Those same fucking lime green eyes and sinister grin. I was not dealing with this shit. The man then began to walk over to me, tilting his head to the side. In retaliation, I grabbed a book and threw it at the man's head. I heard a sickening thud. I went over and saw his head was leaking a liquid, not blood, some strange lime liquid that smelled oddly acidic. I ran out of the building and went into my car. Then I drove until I saw a police barricade. I drove closer, hoping I could tell them about my strange experience. Then I saw it. They all had those same fucking green eyes and sinister grin. They then began to sprint towards my car. I floored the car and crashed through the barricade. I heard a sickening crunch. Normally, this would make me throw up, but I knew they weren't human. They were absolute fucking monsters. I continued to drive, seeing people walking their dogs. Even the dogs had those same green eyes. They began to close in on my location. I knew I had to hide from this. I needed to go back to my house and help my wife barricade our house. I continued to drive until I ran out of fuel. I got out, and the lime-eyed people all stared at me, unblinking. I began to run home. Then I remembered how far it was. I saw the lime-eyed people driving cars. I ran over to one and ripped them out of it. I stole their car and continued to drive. I drove until I reached home. I saw hundreds of those lime-eyed people as I drove. When I got home, I opened the door and saw my wife watching TV. I slowly approached her and realized she had the same green eyes and sinister grin. I quickly ran to the kitchen and grabbed a knife. My wife came in and with her hands made a gesture to calm down. Then she pointed to my left pocket. She seemed distracted, so I lunged at the creature and stabbed her in the heart. I then ripped the knife out and ran into the basement. I knew I'd be safe there, at least long enough to post this story. When I got into the basement, I thought I'd be safe, but then I heard loud banging on the basement door. I'm currently hiding behind a washing machine. I am looking for anything that can help me stop the things from finding me. I remembered the knife and I put it in one of my pockets. I reached my hands into my left pocket and pulled something out. A picture of my wife. Why did the creature that looked like my wife? How did it know? I don't get it. Are they still somewhat human? What even are they? No time to ponder. The creatures broke the door, I think it's over for me. Too many to stop with a plain old kitchen knife. Goodbye, Martha. I'm posting this before they find me.